Welcome back. This video is dedicated to understanding these first three tools on our toolbar, which we call selection tools. So again, the first thing that we should always do when we open an image is hold down Command and hit J. That will duplicate our image, give us a duplicate layer, rather, and by so doing, we only edit this copy layer. Okay, now the first three tools, well, really the first tool is what we call the Move tool. The keyboard shortcut there is V on your keyboard, and this will allow us to move any layer or text or selection or anything. It is just generally known as the Move tool because it allows us to move a selection or a layer. Now, important to note is that whenever you hover over a tool, Photoshop gives you this nice little demo of what that tool does. And then you'll also notice right here that it gives you a little keyboard shortcut. So we don't have to hit Command on these. Sometimes we do, but the keyboard shortcuts for tools are just the letters themselves. So the keyboard shortcut for the Move tool is V, and that will bring up the Move tool. Okay, the ones that I want to focus on are these three. These three are what are known as selection tools. Now, what is a selection tool? Excellent question. A selection tool allows us to create a selection which will then define the area in which we can edit or make a change. Okay, so when we use selection tools to make selections, we get these little black and white streaks, which are called, from Adobe, no lie, it's called the marching ants. So you'll hear me refer to these as marching ants, and that's what I mean. Okay, let me start from the top again. So if I come to this selection tool and select it, and I click and drag to make a square, what I've done is I have told Photoshop that I only intend to work inside this square, and Photoshop says, bet, let's go, and it's only going to work inside this area. So I am using my brush now, and I'm painting in black, and what that's going to do on a normal layer, not selected, is, it's going to paint black, okay? If I make a selection and then use my brush, it's only going to work inside of that layer. Selection, pardon me. It's only going to work inside of that selection. Okay? Now, to deselect, I hold down Command and click D, and then my marching ants go away. Okay, let's undo that. All right. Now, we've got three ways to make a selection. We can use these, which are called the marquee tools. We can use a freehand selection with the lasso. And then we can use a smart selection with these three quick select tools. On your toolbar, whenever you see a tool that has this little triangle notch in the bottom right corner, it means that we have more than one tool available, sort of in the same category. So if I right-click there, you'll see that I toggle between a rectangular and a circular or elliptical marquee tool. You'll see that if I right-click on the lasso tool, I can select from the lasso, the polygonal, or the magnetic lasso tool. And if we, again, right-click on the quick select tools, we can go from object to quick to magic wand. Now, these all work in different fashions. The marquee tool will make rectangular or elliptical selections. Okay, kind of cut and dry there. The lasso tool will make a freehand selection, meaning that I get to define the shape of the selection by dragging it around whatever I want to. Now I always want to bring it back to my start, and then I have a selection made. I will hit Command D to deselect. And then we have the Smart Selection tools, or the Quick Selection tools. Number one is my personal favorite. It is called the Quick Selection tool, keyboard shortcut W. What this does is it allows Photoshop to make a little bit of the decisions for us. What I'm doing is I'm clicking and dragging my brush around to roughly where I want it to be. And we can see there that that's my selection. To view your selection, you can hit Q on the keyboard, or you can come down and click the Quick Mask mode. But always remember to turn it off. Okay. So now I've made my selection using a Quick Select tool. It's a very useful tool, allows us to make selections rapidly and pretty accurately. The other is the Magic Wand tool, which grabs similarly colored pixels. You can see I just clicked that backdrop and it grabbed all sort of the tan values. Pretty useful for when you have very consistent colors that you're working with, such as blocked colors or consistent backdrop colors like we have here. Again, I will hit Command D to deselect. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so when we have a selection made, let's see what the Magic Wand does to this hat. Okay, when we have a selection made, we then can use something like the brush, and we can brush about this, and let's see, what am I trying to do? Command D. All right, and we can sort of change those colors. More useful to us than just being able to color block something like this, perhaps, would be changing like the hue or saturation values. You know, something like that. If we were trying to color match, you know, I'm just kind of being reckless though. Okay, that in brief, again, I'm just going to get back out of this, is our selection tools. Thank you so much.